My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Fall, and it's my second favorite season just behind summer. No, but actually, this is a movie that wasn't on my radar at all a month ago. But then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, this might be my kind of movie. Like, I love it when people are just stuck in these terrible situations, and I love it when you feel the height that someone's at. Like, I think the 2015 Robert Zemeckis movie, The Walk, is so incredibly underappreciated, and I just love that one. I also think Free Solo is the best documentary ever, so this movie sounded like it'd be right up my alley. And I've heard some people hate this movie, I've heard some people enjoy it ironically, and I have to say, I don't quite get why, because I think this is a legitimately damn good movie. It does everything that it's trying to do incredibly well. It's trying to put you on the edge of your seat and just tell this thrilling, tense story, and I think it vastly succeeds at that. Like, this is one of the most tense movies I've seen in a very, very long time. Like, I was already on the edge of my seat when they started climbing the tower, and then when everything goes wrong, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. And it was even more tense then, and the movie keeps getting more and more tense from that point forward. And the way the situation goes from bad to worse just kept me invested. Like, my palms were sweaty, mum spaghetti almost the entire movie. And I just had a great time watching it. And you really feel the height. There's so many wide shots that just make you really think about how high up they actually are. And I think the cinematographer, McGregor, does a beautiful job of capturing that. I thought the sound really added to the experience, and the visual effects were really impressive. Not once did it feel like I was watching two actresses in front of a green screen. It always felt like I was watching two actual people stuck on this super high tower. And just the way they try to get out of certain situations, the stuff they're willing to do, it just got me yelling at the screen like, don't do it, don't do it, frick, they're doing it. And the fact that their idea of safety is this super small platform where two people can barely fit, it's just like you can never get a break from the tension. It's absolutely relentless in that regard. And I just love that. I really, really did. And I do think they find a way to make you care about the characters. I saw what they do with the characters at a certain point was really smart to keep things interesting. And in the last act, there is a bit of emotion. You know, the whole idea of, to quote Joe Miller, you keep finding something to fight for. And how when things look bad, things look hopeless, you gotta hold on to some sort of hope. I do think they're able to get some emotion from the idea, and the two main performances I thought were really good. The main actress, Grace Caroline Corey, I thought was actually really bad at the start, but once the main plot kicks in, she got significantly better, and she only continued to get better from that point forward. And then Virginia Gardner, I also thought did a really good job. You've also got Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Mason Gooding, and like, they're not bad in the movie, but they are barely in it at all, and I wish we saw them a bit more. And I also think this movie has the perfect runtime at an hour and 45 minutes. That said, I wish they managed it a bit better. There are some moments in the second act that drag a bit too much, and I wish the opening scene was a bit longer, so we got to know the characters before things go south, and how they could just set up that opening scene a bit better. And I also really didn't like the ending to this movie. Like, when this movie ended, I was just like, wait, is that it? It feels like we're missing 10 to 15 minutes. Like, it just ends like that. And I didn't find it satisfying at all. Like, the decision they made, though, was bafflingly awful. There's also this one moment where I'm going to try to avoid any spoilers, but we see this one moment two different times in the movie from two different perspectives, and I think if it just played out the way it did the second time we see it, it would have been much more effective. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go and watch it, then come back, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. I also thought that some of the situations that arise were a bit too over the top. There was this one early on regarding these two people and how they're trying to get their attention, and none of that worked for me because they were just so high up and the direction it took didn't work. And there was another moment involving a truck, and I just think it's much better when the tension comes from the character's mistakes, not from some random thing. Like, there is a lot of setup and payoff in this movie, which is really well done for the most part, but there's one scene involving a truck which just didn't work for me at all. And this movie also has this main idea of how you can't just wait around to die, how you gotta do things to make you feel alive. And that's a great message, and I completely agree with it. I just don't think it's a good idea to tack that message onto this movie, because when this movie ended, I'll tell you right now, the last thing I wanted to do was to climb a super high tower like the main characters just did. That was not on my to-do list at all. So good message just didn't come through in the best way. But look, this is a movie that I vastly enjoyed. If you're able to keep my palms as sweaty as they were for like 90% of this movie, for me to be as locked in as I was for the entire time, and for me to just be on the edge of my seat waiting for things to get worse, then I think the movie did a great job. Not every story needs complex characters and deep storytelling. Sometimes I think movies should just know what they are and succeed at that. And that is exactly what this movie does. So I'm going to go ahead and give Fall a 7 out of 10. This movie is legitimately one of my favorite movies of the year so far, and I definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it. But have you seen Fall? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.